Palace turn on attack mode over Prince Harry goes crazy for revenge at Queen's Jubilee on Memoir. Prince Harry has been told to make sure he can back up claims he will make in his upcoming memoir book. Prince Harry's memoir book is due for release later this year and is set to erupt even more tensions within the royal family. Speaking on Royally Us, PR expert leader Citrian said that once Harry starts pointing fingers, in his book, he will need to make sure he can back up claims that he makes. She claims that this is much like we see in the celebrity space too. Royally Us host Christina Garibaldi said, "Do you think that they, Meghan and Harry, should stop talking about the royal family and then we have this book that he, Harry, is releasing, supposedly at the end of the year?" Ms. Citrian said, "It's a lot. I think what's interesting is we're all outsiders just looking in, right, and let's face it, it's fun to read, it's salacious, it's juicy, it's gossip. Would we want somebody writing about us that way? Of course not, we'd be mortified, so I can imagine that they're, the royal family, mortified by some of this. The royals, again, have a persona, an institution to manage, and there's such a wonderful quality to that." Speaking of the potential memoir claims, the PR expert added, "That's really tricky if you start pointing out where the strings are and you know what the magic is, what the magician's doing behind the scenes. If you are going to disillusion all that, be really careful where you step, because those are some of the landmines we see in the celebrity space too, right? You start pointing out and pointing fingers, make sure you can back it up." The memoir, which is due to be released towards the end of this year, will include past topics such as about his childhood and his time in the military service. It will also include more recent times in his life, such as his marriage to Meghan Markle and his experience of fatherhood. In a statement, released at the time of the announcement of the memoir, Harry claimed, "I'm writing this not as the prince I was born but as the man I have become. I've worn many hats over the years, both literally and figuratively, and my hope is that in telling my story, the highs and lows, the mistakes, the lessons learned, I can help show that no matter where we come from, we have more in common than we think. I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to share what I've learned over the course of my life so far, and excited for people to read a first-hand account of my life that's accurate and wholly truthful." Injured veterans charity Help for Heroes will no longer lead Team UK at the Invictus Games after training and selecting the team since Prince Harry launched the event in 2014. The Ministry of Defence has stripped the charity of its responsibilities and said, going forward, the Royal British Legion will take over leading Team UK at the Injured Veterans event. The government said the decision had been made because the Royal British Legion, of which the Queen is patron, could provide more personnel, secure funding and a commitment to support the team in the future. The event was launched by Prince Harry in 2014 after he was inspired by a similar sporting event in the US the year prior. He has not commented on the news publicly. In a statement issued today, Help for Heroes said it wanted to emphasize that the decision was out of their hands. Lee Skeet, Services Director at Help for Heroes, added, "Help for Heroes is incredibly proud to have trained, supported and delivered Team UK for the past 5 Invictus Games. However, following extensive discussions, it has been decided by the MOD that the Royal British Legion will lead the end-to-end delivery of Team UK to the Invictus Games for the next 5 years and will also be the main funder of the programme. Unfortunately, therefore, we will no longer be directly involved in Invictus Team UK. We want to emphasize that this was not a decision we made ourselves. We know the Games continues to play a unique role in shining a light on the abilities of wounded veterans. The MOD considered proposals from the Invictus UK partnership and have chosen this route moving forwards.